Trojan Sports Now.
Hello and welcome back to Trojan Sports Now. For this week's Trojan Profile, I'm joined by head coach of the men's basketball team, Phil Cunningham. So, Coach, thank you for joining me today.
Amy, thank you for having me. It's good to be here.
I'm glad you're here. So first off, you have your first year under your belt. Talk a little bit about how was your first season at Troy.
Well, it was the best way to describe it. It was an extremely busy year. As soon as we got here, we were planning we had a foreign trip. We went to Spain last summer, 2 summers ago, and so we planned for that. And we had 6 seniors on the team last year, so we immediately had to begin a recruiting process where we had to sign a lot of guys. We ended up bringing in 7 new guys. So it was just from a standpoint of which way do you turn. We had so much going on. We had to get the last year's team prepared for the season, and we had to hit the road hard in recruiting. And it was a busy year, but it was really an enjoyable year because we inherited 6 seniors who were terrific. And we had a fantastic time with them. We didn't win as many games as any of us wanted to win, but they all got their degrees, and I think they had a great experience their senior year, which was important to us.
Okay, now transitioning into your second year, what are you looking forward to this year?
Well, we've got a brand new team basically, and with so many new guys, and it's just looking forward to getting our guys in here and putting them in a situation where we can compete for championships. That's our goal. Our goal is to get better every day in practice and everything we do, whether it be in the weight room or normal. We're into practice now, so everything we do just get better every day and keep building to where we want to build a program where year in and year out, we're right in the middle of things trying to win the Sun Belt Conference.
And speaking of, practicing and all, y'all have been practicing and preparing for the new season, so how is that going?
Well, we're in two-a-days right now. The NCAA rules allow us to, in the last couple of years, have allowed us to start early. Instead of taking 1 day off a week, we have to take 2 days off a week. So we do about 3 days a week. We go twice a day. We go early in the morning and then come back in the afternoon. So they're a little beat up. We've got some guys injured right now because it's a tough time to get through it. Physically, it's tough, and mentally, it's tough when you're getting up at 5 in the morning and practicing, and you go to class all day and you come back. But really, this is the time of the year where we lay our foundation defensively and really set a tone of how we're going to defend and rebound, and then we're putting in our offense too. And it's just, there's a lot of teaching going on right now because we have so many new guys. When you have 7 new guys on the team, you can imagine how much teaching is going on. And there's a fine line between, you've got to figure out, okay, how much do we teach and how much do we prepare to play that first game and keep moving quickly. So we're trying to find that middle ground again where we're doing both, where we're making sure we're in shape and we're making sure we're ready to play, but yet we want to have a good fundamental foundation in terms of offensively and defensive how we want to do things.
Speaking of that foundation, you had your first open scrimmage past Saturday before the homecoming game. Can you talk a little bit about how that scrimmage looked and how your players looked overall?
Well, it was a scrimmage. We probably had it too early. We'd only practiced about 5 days, and normally we wouldn't hold a scrimmage that early because we're so vanilla offensively. It's easy for the defense to take the offense out of what they're doing, and it was probably too early. Normally we like to practice for 2 weeks before we scrimmage, but it was Saturday of homecoming, and we like to reward our guys too at the end of the week. Hey, you practice hard all week, then let's have a little scrimmage. So it was okay. But really, probably the only positive out of that scrimmage was we got some good conditioning out of it.
Okay, and then what are some goals for your team this season to focus on?
Well, we don't talk a whole lot about end of year goals right now. We just talk about trying to get better every day and just try to. The big thing we emphasize and we preach every day in this program is consistency. And and just our philosophy as a coaching staff is if you recruit good talent and if you can get them to play hard and be consistent, then good things are going to happen. And we try not to look too much into the future, but our main goal is just every day getting guys to come out and go hard and not just go through the motions and get through practice that day, but understand what we're doing and how we're trying to get better.
Some of those players on your team I know are return players. Can you talk a little bit about how they are this year and how they're going to step up as leaders?
Well, we only have 5 guys returning from last year's team, only 2 of whom actually played last year, Kevin Thomas and Kelton Ford. And we had 3 other young men, John Walton, Yarrow Moravec, and Aaron Ariri, who sat out last year for various reasons. John was a transfer. Yarrow was an international kid who the NCAA made sit out for a year, and Aaron came at Christmas and redshirted. But at least those guys were around, and John, being 2 years in another Division I program, he understands. So, but Kevin and Kelton, you can just see from them, from a day-to-day basis, they understand how we want to do things. They understand the tempo of practice. They understand the drills because they've done them last year. And Kevin's a really talented guy. He's a senior, so we're expecting a lot of him. Kelton is in a battle for the starting point guard position. So, but he's got an advantage in that he's been here last year. And those other three guys, they've been through it and they get it. So those five guys are doing well, and they'll all have a chance to really make an impact on this year's team.
Okay, and with the old players, you also have a lot of new players coming in. Can you talk a little bit about how they're fitting in with the older players?
Well, we've got a real diversity in our team. We brought in a fifth-year senior. Musa came in, a one-year guy, graduated from South Florida, and came in here and was immediately eligible because he's graduated and he's in a master's program. He's a one-year guy. He's a guy who's been through practices before at a high level. He understands some defensive concepts. And then we have three junior college players, one of whom has been out the entire preseason. Then we just found out another who's got a stress fracture. Now he's going to be out. But those three guys are a little ahead of the freshmen just because they've been in college programs. Even though it's been junior college program, they've been coached in college for a couple of years. Then we have our new high school guys. We have a total of 5 new high school guys, a couple of walk-ons and 3 scholarship guys. So those are the guys who we have a lot more patience with because they haven't been coached at this level and with this much detail and with this much intensity and this much of a physical and mental challenge with the practices. So we've really got a wide variety of new guys on our team.
And now, Coach, for players that want to meet these new, or for fans that want to meet these new players, and see the old players, Fan Day is Saturday before the football game out on Tailgate Terrace. Now, why is it being held out at Tailgate Terrace?
Well, last year it was held after a practice on a Saturday when I think our football team was either on the road or away, and naturally a football game draws so many fans to campus. And I think the people in marketing made a great decision to move it to in conjunction with the football game and to literally move it to the Tailgate Terrace where we're going to be amongst those people here for the football game. It just gives our guys and us as a coaching staff a better chance to mingle with more people. And I think it's a great idea. I think it's going to go over well. The timing of it right before the football game, I think it was a smart idea. So it gives us a chance to reach out to them and say, hey, introduce yourselves and show them a little character about yourself and invite them to come watch us play.
And then this year you're going to have a new event, Trojan Madness. Can you tell us a little bit about that event?
Yeah, we're excited about that. Trojan Madness is Thursday night, the 23rd of October, a week from Thursday night, and it's an event really built for the students. Kevin Thomas came to me over the summer. Kevin, our one senior, Moose is a senior, but he's new. And Kevin said, Coach, are we going to do something at the beginning of the year? And I said, Kevin, I can't guarantee it, but we're going to do everything in our power to do something. So we started the ball rolling and student involvement from their offices. They got involved. Derek Brewster and Sedaris got involved, and then Mike Frigge and Tony Ferrante did a great job. And we sort of just brought all the parties together, and us and women's basketball and student involvement and athletic department marketing, and everybody just sort of came together, and we put it together, and Chick-fil-A is going to sponsor it, and we've got some great giveaways. It's going to be, everybody that comes is going to get a Chick-fil-A sandwich when it's over. You got to come first and then stay throughout the whole event, but then we're going to feed you, and there's some terrific prizes that are going to be released later today. It's a chance to win some really expensive prizes. It's going to be well worth it. If I'm a student, I think it's going to be a good time because we just want to create an atmosphere where they can come in and have a great time. It's going to be a DJ. It's going to be loud. It's going to be it's just going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to keep it short, and we're going to have a 3-point contest, a dunk contest, have a little scrimmage, give a lot of stuff away, and then we're going to feed everybody at the end. So I think it's going to be an exciting event. I hope we have a great crowd. I was in there Friday night at the pep rally, and it was an incredible atmosphere in there, and we want to redo that with our Trojan Madness next Thursday night the 23rd at 7 o'clock.
Okay, that sounds like an exciting event for students. Students need to come out to that. I have one last question for you. I have to ask about Ole Miss coming to Trojan Arena on November 17th. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, anytime we're right in the middle of SEC country, so anytime when we can get an SEC opponent to come in here and play at Trojan Arena, it's extremely difficult to make that happen. It's just not an everyday occurrence in our league, and this is a long time coming in the scheduling process. Ole Miss is a team, they returned 4 starters. You remember I said earlier, now we've only got 5 guys back that were even on the team last year. They've got 4 starters back, so they're going to be, I think, one of the top 4 or 5 teams in the SEC, and we've just got to be ready. We've got some injuries we're dealing with. 2 of our 2 of our junior college transfer wings probably won't play that game, but that's not going to be an excuse. We're going to be ready. It's going to be I hope it's going to packed house, and like I say, it's so hard to get an SEC team to come to our gym in a situation like this, and we need to take advantage of this opportunity, and our guys are really excited about that opportunity.
Absolutely, Coach, and we hope fans will show up for that, and we wish you the best of luck with this season. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you, Amy. I hope let's pack the house on November 17th. It's a Monday night. Students are going to be in town, so it should be a great night.
Absolutely. And stick around for more Troy Athletics. We'll give you a preview of what's coming up with Troy Sports.